Good evening, good morning, good day, wherever it is that you are. I really wanted to tune in at the moment just because this has come up quite a bit for people that are bringing this to me this week. So I really wanted to tune into it because obviously it might be able to help somebody. So it's about relationships. And what has been coming up is a lot of people like, I'm in this relationship, I'm doing this, and it's not necessarily just a partnership, but maybe like business, whatever the relationship is. Like this has come up with like clients in their intimate relationships, but then also in business as well for me this week, where people are saying, like, I'm telling this person this, and this is exactly what I need, and I don't understand why they're not giving me what I like. This would just make the whole relationship so much better. Can't they see exactly, like what I'm saying is legit, and this is why everything would be better if they just did this stuff, And I'm like, amazing, I hear you. What do they need? Are their needs getting met? How can you both communicate effectively so that both of your needs are met? Because what can generally happen in a relationship is that we are so consumed with well, this is what I need, this is what's right, this is what's right, this is blah, 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 blah. And in a relationship, in life, in business, anything like that, it's never about being right or wrong. That will never really fulfill you or get you where you want to be. There's no such thing as right or wrong. It's just a perception. And sometimes it's beautiful in a relationship just to be able to, have your needs met and meet the needs of somebody else. I don't know about you, but it is actually like a really beautiful thing when you can give gifts to somebody else, gifts that they want. So rather than trying to give the other person exactly what you think they need, just asking them and fulfilling those things, I'll never forget, just a little story. I never forget, in one of the relationships I had a while ago, one of the partners that I had was always trying to give me what he thought I needed. And I am like the most straightforward person, buses, all the stuff going on here at home. I'm like the most straightforward person. Whatever I need or want, I will legit tell you, because I don't have time. My brain doesn't work with games and all that sort of stuff, because I just don't have the fucking mental capacity to be able to play games. I've got too many businesses to be able to play that shit. So I literally just tell people straight up what I need. I'm super direct, and this is what I need in a relationship, or this is what I need in my business relationship, or this is what I need. And people go into this whole mental thing where they're like, well, they don't even hear what you're saying, or they don't believe you, or they don't validate you. So they just give you what they want in their relationship, and they're like, oh my gosh, I did all the things for my partner and they were still so unhappy. It's like, yeah, you did all the things that you wanted, but none of the things that they needed or that they wanted. So can you see what I mean with this? It's all well and good to give somebody what you want in a relationship, but that's not going to fulfill them. And it's all well and good for them to do the exact same thing, for them to be giving you all the things that they want in a relationship, but you're not being fulfilled. So it's really great if you can sit down with your partner, whether it be in business or in an intimate relationship, and have a really conscious conversation and just say, look, I love you. Or if it's a business relationship, I pretty much say that I love people anyway, but if it's a business relationship, it might not be I love you, but we're in this together. Let's make it work and do the best that we can to support each other so that we've got a common goal and we can get the most out of this relationship and out of this partnership. So seeing what it is that's super important to each other, and seeing, if you know what's really important to somebody, if you know where they're coming from, if you know maybe why they react in certain ways, then it's a lot easier to address that person with a way that they're going to understand that, rather than how you like to be spoken to. So that's what I mean by conscious relationship, because you actually have to think rather than just react in the moment all the time. Especially in business as well. This is super important. I know with my teams, this is what had come up this week. It's, I'm speaking to this person and blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, I totally get that. But maybe that person was brought up in trauma and has a lot of trauma. So every time that you're like, blah, 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 their brain shuts down because they're actually in overwhelm and they're actually stressed, and so because they were brought up in maybe a stressful environment, they're literally shut down saying yeah, but they're on autopilot and they're not even there. They're like, fight, flight or freeze. They've literally frozen, or like their brain is like flown out the window, if you know what I mean, and they are legit on autopilot. So you need to think of a way that's not going to serve your best interest, but it will in the long run, but actually what will allow the other person to hear you in a way that's going to serve you both, and so that you can come together in a relationship, maybe, but into a relationship, that is, but so that you can come together for common ground to achieve this result, whatever it is that you're after. So it's really interesting that intimate relationships, business relationships with a colleague, a staff member, an employee, an employer even, that you have a conscious conversation about what it is that you both want to get out of it, because at the end of the day, it will just make both of your life so much easier, and you'll be able to, like, especially if it's an intimate relationship, be excited about, rather than doing it from your terms, but listening to that other person and be excited of how you can, like, fulfill their needs, and then in return get your needs met as well. And not every relationship is good or bad, right or wrong, but not every relationship fits. So, you want to be able to have these conversations, but then also if it's not right, it's not right as well. But 100% give it a go as much as you can, especially with this sort of stuff. Like, it's a practice, and if you really love that person and you want to make it work, then you will, and you've got to do it with a really beautiful, you don't have to do anything, but it's nice to be able to both be sovereign beings in a relationship, be in a partnership, with choice, rather than needing the other person or them needing you or the validation or anything like that. Just being like really strong within yourself, so that you know that your own self-worth in that relationship is a beautiful thing, and that's enough, But then also when you are communicating, that was totally the opposite of what I said before, but I know that. But like, when you are communicating with somebody, that you're meeting them on their level, like you're meeting them on a level, like you're both on the same level, in that you're both communicating, but not from a place where you just need to be heard, but also from a place where you're allowing the other person to actually succeed. Because in a relationship, you do actually want you want to succeed, and you want the other person to succeed as well. You want to be partners. You don't want to be codependent, because that is not healthy, right? Like, you don't want to be fully relying on anybody. And you might say, or somebody might say, I know this has come up before for one of my clients, is like, especially being a stay-at-home mum, like, well, I don't bring anything to the table. Well, you do actually. You bring the divine feminine energy, which is an energy which just being there and being holding space with love in your heart is the most supportive thing for somebody else, So the divine feminine and divine masculine, we've got both of them within us, and it depends on which one we need to work with at the time. And it's all about balance, right? So having the nice, beautiful, soft energy with the beautiful balance of the divine masculine as well, the logic and all of that sort of stuff. We want to have all of those things so that we can have really nice balance and support of each other and support of ourselves. So showing up in the relationship and doing our best to be in service of ourselves first, and having like our needs met within ourselves. So looking after ourselves as best that we can. And I know that might be hard if you've got like a little one or a baby or all of the things, or like, you're like an entrepreneur, and a baby could be like a fur baby, or like a business baby, an entrepreneur baby, we've got lots of babies. So yeah, I hope that maybe gives you a little bit of food for thought, and maybe allows you to open up a conversation with your beloved, or your business partner, or your employer, or your employees, or a work colleague, and just say, look, where we're at the moment, I think it could be a bit better. Do you mind if we have like a little bit of a conversation? And I'd love to give you a bit of time before we go in to have this conversation. Just think about like what it is that you really want in this relationship, and how we can be more proactive rather than reactive. And proactive, what we can do in ourselves or as a couple to really make this better, to really strengthen what we've got, you know? So yeah, give that a go, because it's a really beautiful place to come from, and it's really great to actually hear the other person as well. And when you are if you do this, I love it, if you do this, then what is really great is to really give each other the space to talk. So don't talk over each other. Let them go through their list. You might be biting your tongue, but that means you're really not seeing and hearing them as much as you possibly could. So be conscious in that moment by giving them space, by allowing yourself the opportunity to really hear them. Because remember, if you hear them and you practice that conscious listening, then you will have your same needs met, and they'll be able to hear and listen to you as well. So it's really being like, somebody might say, oh, you're being a people pleaser. Actually, it's all about self-care, and the person that you're caring about the most is yourself within that situation, because you always want to put the life mask, the breathing apparatus on yourself first before on the other people. So it's all about respecting yourself enough and respecting that person enough to go, you know what, I'm just going to listen. I'm going to sit back and just listen to them, and then they will listen to me, and then we come on a common ground. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about, okay, how can we work together to get the best out of ourselves, and then in this partnership, in this relationship as well. So I hope that helps a little bit, because I know this had been coming up for a few people this week. So yeah, if you have any other questions about this, please don't hesitate to just ask, because like, this is one of my jams that I love. So yeah, love helping you guys, and yeah, please don't hesitate. I hope this has been helpful. So if it is, like it, and then if you think that there's somebody out there that might need this message because they're going through a little bit of hardship with either in a relationship, an intimate relationship, or a business, maybe just like let them hear this so that they can maybe have a different approach as well, because it is super helpful. It's definitely helped me, helped a lot of my clients, and helped a lot of my staff and my team, and me be able to communicate with other people as well. So I highly recommend it. Okay, well, sending you lots of love. So excited because it's like the fourth day of spring in Sydney, so sending you springtime summer vibe, well, nearly summer, springtime vibes from Sydney, Australia. So much love to you. Have the best day ever.